Have you ever worried about your bones becoming weak and brittle as you get older? We often hear about drinking milk for strong bones, but what if there was a powerful, leafy green vegetable that could be even more effective for maintaining the strength and density of your bones? Welcome to our channel, where we explore the science behind superfoods. Today, we are diving deep into a humble yet incredibly powerful vegetable that you might be overlooking in the produce aisle: mustard greens. This is not just another healthy green, it is a dedicated guardian for your skeleton. We are going to uncover the exact reasons why this peppery green is a cornerstone for bone health. Forget the complicated science for a moment. We are going to break it down into simple, actionable information. By the end of this video, you will understand how incorporating mustard greens into your diet can be a delicious and natural strategy to invest in your long-term mobility and strength. We will guide you through everything from the amazing nutrients packed into these leaves to simple and tasty ways you can start eating them today. Get ready to see this common vegetable in a completely new light. Let us begin our journey into how mustard greens can help you build a stronger, more resilient foundation for your body. Before we talk about the solution, let us first understand the problem. You have probably heard the term bone density, but what does it actually mean? Think of your bones not as solid, lifeless rocks, but as living, dynamic structures. Inside, they have a dense, honeycomb-like structure. Bone density is simply a measure of how tightly packed and solid that inner structure is. High bone density means your bones are strong, dense, and resistant to fractures. Low bone density means that honeycomb structure has become wider and more porous, making your bones fragile, like a piece of chalk. This is important because our bones are not static. They are constantly being broken down and rebuilt in a process called remodeling. When we are young, our bodies build new bone faster than it breaks down, so our bone density increases. But as we age, especially after our 30s, this process slows down, and we start to lose more bone than we make. This natural loss can lead to a condition called osteoporosis, where bones become so weak that a minor fall or even a sneeze can cause a serious break. It is often called a silent disease because you cannot feel your bones getting weaker until it is too late. This is why taking proactive steps now to maintain your bone density is one of the most critical things you can do for your lifelong health. So, what exactly is this superstar vegetable we are talking about? Mustard greens are the leafy part of the mustard plant, which is related to other nutritious vegetables like broccoli, kale, and cabbage. They are a staple in many cuisines around the world, from the southern United States to parts of Asia and Africa. You can find them in several beautiful varieties. You might see the vibrant, curly-edged green leaves, the stunning red giant variety with its purple-red veins, or tender baby mustard greens that are less spicy. When it comes to taste, they have a distinctive, bold flavor that sets them apart from mild greens like spinach. They offer a delightful, peppery kick, similar to arugula or radishes, with a slight bitterness that mellows out beautifully when cooked. This robust flavor makes them a fantastic addition to meals, adding a depth that can transform a simple dish. Unlike some bland health foods, mustard greens bring both nutrition and a punch of flavor to your plate. They are incredibly versatile and can be enjoyed raw in salads when young, or sautéed, steamed, or added to soups and stews. Now that you have been properly introduced, let us move on to the most exciting part: uncovering the specific, powerful nutrients inside mustard greens that make them so exceptional for protecting your bone density. Now let us get into the first and most crucial reason why mustard greens are so exceptional for your bones. They are absolutely packed with vitamin K. You might be more familiar with vitamins like C or D, but for bone density, vitamin K is a true superstar. Think of your bone building process like constructing a strong building. You need the raw material, which is calcium, but you also need the construction workers and the blueprint to put that material in the right place. This is exactly what vitamin K does. It acts as a vital activator for special proteins in your body whose main job is to grab calcium from your bloodstream and weave it directly into the bone matrix, making your bones denser and stronger. Without enough vitamin K, these proteins remain inactive. It is like having all the bricks and steel to build a house, but no one to lay them in place. The calcium you consume ends up not being used effectively for your bones and can even be deposited in the wrong places, like your arteries. Mustard greens provide one of the richest sources of this essential vitamin on the planet. Just 1 cup of cooked mustard greens can provide well over your entire daily requirement. By eating them regularly, you are essentially hiring a full-time, highly efficient construction crew dedicated to building up your bone strength from the inside out, ensuring that the calcium you eat is put to good use. While vitamin K is the project manager, you still need the primary building material, and that is calcium. This is the second powerful benefit of mustard greens. They are an excellent source of plant-based calcium. When we think of calcium, most of us immediately picture a glass of milk. However, many leafy greens are also fantastic sources, and mustard greens stand out among them. This is wonderful news for everyone, especially for those who follow a vegan or dairy-free diet. The calcium in mustard greens is also highly bioavailable. Bioavailability simply means how easily your body can absorb and use the nutrient. While some plants contain compounds that can block calcium absorption, mustard greens have relatively low levels of these compounds, especially when cooked. This means a significant amount of the calcium you get from a serving of mustard greens can be readily absorbed into your bloodstream and, with the help of vitamin K, directed straight to your bones. Including mustard greens in your diet is like using a local, high-quality supplier for your bone construction project. You are getting the essential raw material delivered directly to the site, making the entire process of building and maintaining strong bone density more efficient and effective. A successful project needs a full team, and bone health is no different. Beyond the dynamic duo of vitamin K and calcium, mustard greens provide 2 other essential mineral teammates, potassium and magnesium. First, let us talk about potassium. You might know it for its role in heart health, but it is also a silent guardian for your bones. Our modern diets can often be highly acidic. To neutralize this acid, our body might pull alkaline minerals directly from its own reserves, and the biggest reserve of alkaline minerals is your bones. Specifically, it can pull out calcium to balance your blood's pH. Potassium is a key mineral that helps to neutralize this dietary acid before your body has to raid your bones for calcium. By providing ample potassium, mustard greens help protect your bone calcium from being stripped away. Next, we have magnesium. Magnesium is a multi-talented mineral that is involved in hundreds of processes in your body, and one of its key jobs is to act as a helper for vitamin D. Vitamin D is essential for calcium absorption in your gut. Without sufficient magnesium, vitamin D cannot become fully active and cannot do its job properly. So, even if you are consuming plenty of calcium and vitamin D, a lack of magnesium can create a bottleneck. By providing both potassium and magnesium, mustard greens offer a comprehensive support system that protects your existing bone calcium and ensures the entire bone-building process runs smoothly. We have talked about the key construction crew for your bones, but what about the threats that can slowly damage the construction site? This is where another superpower of mustard greens comes into play. Their rich array of antioxidants, and their strong anti-inflammatory effect. You have probably heard the term antioxidants, but what does it mean for your bones? Inside our bodies, as a natural part of metabolism and from factors like stress or poor diet, we produce unstable molecules called free radicals. Think of these free radicals like tiny sparks of rust that can cause damage to our cells, leading to a state of chronic, low-grade inflammation. This inflammation is not the kind you see with a swollen ankle. It is a silent, body-wide fire that can accelerate the breakdown of bone. In fact, chronic inflammation is a known driver of bone loss because it stimulates the cells that break down bone while suppressing the cells that build it. Mustard greens are loaded with powerful antioxidants such as vitamin C and beta-carotene. These compounds act like a fire extinguisher and a protective shield. They neutralize the damaging free radicals, effectively putting out the sparks before they can cause significant harm. By reducing this background level of inflammation, mustard greens help create a calmer, more favorable environment in your body for bone-building activities to thrive. So, you are not just adding building materials with mustard greens. You are also protecting the entire construction project from silent saboteurs, ensuring your bones can remain dense and strong for the long term. You might be wondering, aren't all leafy greens good for you? The answer is yes, but when we focus specifically on building and maintaining bone density, mustard greens have a particularly impressive resume. Let us put them side by side with some other well-known healthy greens. Compared to spinach, mustard greens have a significant advantage. They are much lower in oxalates. Oxalates are compounds that can bind to calcium inside your digestive system, making it much harder for your body to absorb that calcium. While spinach is nutritious, a lot of its calcium is not bioavailable. Mustard greens offer their calcium in a more accessible form. When compared to kale, which is also a bone health superstar, mustard greens often contain comparable or even higher levels of the crucial vitamin K, and they are also an excellent source of vitamin A in the form of beta-carotene. Against collard greens, another southern favorite, the nutrient profiles are very similar, but mustard greens typically have a more peppery, sharp flavor that can add a different dimension to your meals. The key takeaway is not that you should eat only mustard greens, but that they deserve a prominent place in your vegetable rotation. By including a variety of these greens, mustard greens, kale, collards, you are ensuring a broad and powerful intake of all the different vitamins and minerals your bones need to stay dense and resilient. To get the most bone-building benefit from your mustard greens, you need to start with the freshest bunch and store it correctly. The good news is, it is very easy. When you are at the grocery store or farmer's market, look for greens that are your first clue to freshness. Vibrant color. The leaves should be a deep, rich green, or have bright purple veins if it is the red giant variety, and appear lively, not dull. Avoid any bunches that have yellow, wilted, or slimy leaves. Next, feel the leaves. They should be crisp and firm, snapping easily when you bend them. A limp, rubbery leaf is a sign it has been sitting for too long. Finally, give them a quick check for any signs of insect damage or small holes. Once you have brought your perfect bunch of mustard greens home, proper storage is key to preserving their nutrients and crisp texture. Do not just toss the bag into the refrigerator. First, if they are tied with a rubber band, remove it. Then, you can wrap the leaves loosely in a slightly damp paper towel. This creates a humid microenvironment that keeps them from wilting. Place the wrapped bundle into a reusable plastic bag or an airtight container, leaving it slightly open or poking a few holes to allow for a little air circulation. Store them in the crisper drawer of your refrigerator. Stored this way, your mustard greens should stay fresh, crisp, and nutrient-packed for up to 5 days, ready for you to turn them into a delicious, bone-strengthening meal. When discussing leafy greens and minerals, it is important to address a common topic, oxalates or oxalic acid. This is a natural compound found in many plants, and it can bind to minerals like calcium and iron in your digestive system, forming a crystal that prevents your body from absorbing them. You may have heard that spinach is very high in oxalates, which is true. A large portion of the calcium in spinach is not available for your body to use. So, where do mustard greens stand in this? The great news is that mustard greens are considered a low to moderate oxalate food. This means that the calcium they contain is much more bioavailable than the calcium in spinach. You can absorb and use a significantly higher percentage of it. However, if you are someone who needs to be very mindful of oxalate intake due to a specific health condition, like kidney stones, there is a simple and effective strategy: cooking. Steaming, boiling, or sautéing your mustard greens can help reduce the soluble oxalate content. In fact, if you boil them and then discard the water, you can remove a portion of the oxalates that have leached out. For the vast majority of people, this is not a concern, and the benefits of mustard greens far outweigh this minor consideration. Think of it this way: mustard greens offer their fantastic bone-building nutrients in a highly accessible package, making them an efficient and reliable choice for supporting your bone density. How you cook your mustard greens can influence how many of those precious bone-building vitamins and minerals end up on your plate. The goal is to make them delicious and tender while preserving the maximum amount of nutrients. Let us compare two common methods: boiling and steaming. Boiling involves submerging the greens completely in a large pot of water. The downside to this method is that some water-soluble vitamins, like vitamin C and the B vitamins, can leach out from the leaves and into the cooking water. If you then pour that water down the drain, you are literally pouring away a portion of the nutrients. Steaming, on the other hand, is a gentler champion for nutrient retention. By cooking the greens with the steam from boiling water, rather than in the water itself, you minimize the loss of these water-soluble vitamins. The greens still become tender and their sharp flavor mellows, but they hold on to more of their nutritional value. If you love the soft texture of boiled greens, you do not have to give it up. A great alternative is to use the boiling method, but repurpose the nutrient-rich water. Use it as a base for a soup, a stew, or to cook grains like rice or quinoa. This way, you capture all those leaked-out nutrients and consume them in another part of your meal. Whether you steam or boil, the most important thing is that you are eating them, but choosing steaming is a simple step to ensure you get the biggest bone health boost. Now, let us put this knowledge into practice with a classic, simple, and incredibly delicious recipe that preserves nutrients and flavor: sautéed mustard greens with garlic. This method is quick, easy, and makes for a perfect side dish for any meal. To start, you will need 1 large bunch of fresh mustard greens, 2 to 3 cloves of garlic, a tablespoon of olive oil, and an optional pinch of red pepper flakes for a little heat. First, prepare your greens. Wash them thoroughly under cold water to remove any dirt. Then, you can chop the leaves and tender stems into wide ribbons. Next, thinly slice your garlic cloves. Now, heat the olive oil in a large pan over medium heat. Add the sliced garlic and the optional red pepper flakes and sauté for just about 1 minute until the garlic becomes fragrant. Be careful not to burn it. Then, add all of your damp mustard greens to the pan. It might look like a huge amount, but do not worry, they will wilt down significantly. Use tongs to toss the greens in the hot oil and garlic, coating them evenly. Sauté for about 3 to 5 minutes, continuing to toss until the greens have wilted and become tender, but still have a bit of texture. You can season them with a little salt and a squeeze of fresh lemon juice at the end to brighten up the flavor. And that is it. In less than 10 minutes, you have a powerful, bone-healthy side dish that is bursting with flavor. The gentle sautéing softens the peppery bite and makes the greens a perfect companion to grilled chicken, fish, or a bowl of lentils. For a more substantial meal that is a complete bone-building powerhouse, let us make a comforting mustard green and white bean soup. This recipe is a fantastic way to enjoy mustard greens and combines multiple bone-healthy ingredients into one delicious bowl. The star, of course, is our mustard greens, providing their vitamin K, calcium, and magnesium. We then add white beans, such as cannellini or Great Northern beans, which are an excellent source of both calcium and magnesium themselves, creating a powerful synergy. Furthermore, the beans provide plant-based protein, which is also essential for maintaining strong bone structure. To make this soup, you will need 1 large bunch of mustard greens, chopped, 2 cans of white beans, rinsed, 1 onion, chopped, 2 carrots, chopped, 2 cloves of garlic, minced, 6 cups of vegetable broth, and a tablespoon of olive oil. Begin by heating the olive oil in a large soup pot over medium heat. Add the onion and carrots and cook until they begin to soften, about 5 to 7 minutes. Add the garlic and cook for 1 more minute until fragrant. Then, pour in the vegetable broth and the rinsed white beans. Bring the soup to a boil, then reduce the heat and let it simmer for about 15 minutes to allow the flavors to meld together. Finally, stir in the chopped mustard greens and cook for just another 3 to 5 minutes until the greens are wilted and tender, but still brightly colored. Season the soup with salt and pepper to your taste. This soup is a perfect example of a holistic approach to bone health, delivering a wide spectrum of nutrients in a warm, satisfying, and easy-to-digest form. We have covered a lot of ground, so let us do a quick recap of the most important takeaways. Here are the top 5 reasons why mustard greens are a true superfood for your bone density. Reason number 1. They're extremely high in vitamin K. Remember, vitamin K acts as the essential director, activating the proteins that pull calcium from your blood and embed it directly into your bone tissue. Without it, your bone-building process is inefficient. Reason number 2. They're a great plant-based source of calcium. Mustard greens provide the fundamental building block of your bones in a form that your body can absorb well, making them a fantastic dairy-free option for meeting your calcium needs. Reason number 3. They contain bone-supporting potassium and magnesium. Potassium helps protect your bone calcium from being leached away by acidic diets, while magnesium is crucial for activating vitamin D so you can absorb calcium properly. Reason number 4. They fight inflammation with antioxidants. The vitamin C and beta-carotene in mustard greens neutralize damaging free radicals, creating a calmer internal environment that is conducive to bone building and repair. And reason number 5, they are versatile and easy to add to your diet. As we have seen with our 2 simple recipes, you can easily incorporate them into your weekly meals, ensuring you consistently get these amazing benefits. So, the next time you are walking through the produce section, I encourage you not to just pass by those vibrant bunches of mustard greens. See them for what they truly are, a delicious, natural, and powerful tool for investing in your long-term health and mobility. Your bones are the foundation that supports your entire body every single day, and taking care of them with nutrient-rich foods like mustard greens is one of the most proactive steps you can take. You do not need a complicated diet or expensive supplements to start making a difference. It can be as simple as adding a side of sautéed greens to your dinner or enjoying a warm bowl of bean soup. I hope this video has empowered you with new knowledge and inspired you to explore the world of leafy greens. If you found this information helpful, please give this video a thumbs up, as it really supports our channel. And if you want to learn more about how food can support your health, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you do not miss our next video. I would also love to hear from you in the comments below. What is your favorite way to cook leafy greens? Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care.